Welcome back to Champion News Talk Radio, brought to you by championnews.net, your choice for the conservative voice. This is Carol Parisi, and our founder, Jack Roeser, and myself have the illustrious Congressman Joe Walsh. Before the break, Michael was talking about the Chicago way, the Chicago model, and why our country is definitely duplicating that, Mike. What were you saying?
Well, I mean, if you just look at the Chicago model, what they did, they certainly went after the businesses because they needed more money to be able to pay off various special interest groups for votes. We've seen the churches in Chicago. They all get money from City Hall. They won't dare talk bad about a Democrat. They won't dare talk bad about abortion. In every single sector that they have affected, they've got a lock on it now. There are more people in Chicago dependent upon government than the taxpayers.
Chicago is a patronage city. The state is a patronage state, and Obama is moving us toward a patronage country, where everyone sucks off of and is dependent upon government. That's right. And Jack, you better than anybody's been going after the unions that are part and parcel to this. We can't afford that kind of country. It's such a simple equation. If you ask government to do more for people, voila, you're asking less of churches, less of communities, less of neighborhoods, and less of families. So what's happening is our families, neighborhoods, churches, and individuals, we're all breaking down because people are becoming more dependent upon government. It can't work.
When you have so many people on the apple cart and there's only so many people pulling the cart, when does that cart break? I mean, we are definitely It's
broke in Illinois. It's breaking nationwide.
It's broken Illinois, but they're still kicking the can down the road and massaging the numbers and playing around. But if you all get this Illinois pension scam book, you could find out why Illinois is broke. And Jack, during the break, we were talking about Obamacare being a single-payer system. And Jack, you were mentioning that we already have a single-payer system.
Yeah, we got a single-payer system all over this country, and especially here in Illinois, and I'm talking about the school system. Why is it a single-payer system? It's exactly what Obama's trying to do with the medical system. You don't arrange with your own doctor. You don't look at the product you're going to get anywhere you go with socialism because the market isn't controlling things. What's happening is you pay your money in taxes and you get a service back out according to what some bureaucrat thinks is appropriate for his judgment of what you've got. And it's very clear that you're going to have death councils in thing. Guys as old as I am, you just won't have, any of the fancy surgery available to you when you get past 70 years old. That has to be because the doctors can't do everything that everyone wants done every day. So
if you can, Jack, if you can find a doctor.
If you can find a doctor.
The time's coming where you may not be able to find a doctor. The market breaks down
when you ruin the contact between the person and the person that's serving them. The two of you get along with each other and make a deal. But when you get the unions and the government, they're working together these days way too closely. Your own chances of achieving a good deal in the market, whether it's a home or it's your medical or your car or whatever, the government is way too much into it. So this whole thing ran with a mob in Chicago for way too many years. And I'm not talking about Al Capone, and he was just a pimple on the rear end of the kind of crookedness that was building up.
It's a nice image.
He didn't really hurt the economy. He just hurt people that got in his way. But what they're doing in Chicago and the slum that Obama came out of and the people he took to Washington with him from Chicago, they set this thing up. Cook County, I got my business out of there because they've arranged Cook County and Chicago in it. Listen, when I was a young man, that was the most dynamic place in the United States or the world. In industry, even in the Depression, I can remember the 1930s. I was a kid, but I can remember, and I had older brothers, and The word was then, if you couldn't find a job in Chicago, you couldn't find a job anywhere. This was the biggest dynamo of industry, whether it was agriculture or steel or railroads or candy. In 10 different industries, Illinois exceeded all of them in this country and from around the world. We were the industrial and job center of the whole world. And the Democrats have crapped on that whole thing, and none worse than that crowd that finally expelled Obama out of here and sent him national. These creeps have been sucking the blood out of the citizens here for a long time. And Obama learned his trade in a sliver of a pension, of a senatorial area in the city of Chicago. You could walk it end to end. They were all concentrated there so much.
You're right, Jack.
And he never actually ran because he got the 4 other candidates out of the race with technicalities.
In everything you say, you're right, but there was a quiet, submissive Republican Party right there all along that just went along with it.
Yes.
So, Congressman Walsh, we're going to go to break here in a few. When we come back for the break, we need solutions. Illinois needs solutions. We are going to be talking about solutions. One word, what do you think a solution would be? One word, quick.
Freedom.
Freedom. We'll come back after the break. Don't go away.